Hari Om. Let's continue getting our knowledge from Pranayama and Pranayama book by Bihar School. So this chapter is diving straight away to what is Pranayama. We looked at the aspects of what is Prana, how it works in our body, some of these aspects. And let's talk about actual Pranayama. In this first chapter, there's a lot of descriptions of scriptures and what saints and yogis say about this and where it's actually originated from. Pranayama is a precise science which provides methods to understand the essence of prana and to guide it within oneself, as well as the rest of creation. So we're here diving into understanding that it's a science, and we understand prana, and we not just understand how to use it for ourselves, but also for benefit of the world. And you probably heard this from many who practice yoga or yoga practitioners or teachers, gurus. They say the moment you start practice yoga in terms of like adult yoga, I would say, grown-up yoga, not just stretching your hips and shoulders, but it's also working with prana and energy, changing yourself, your lifestyle, changing your attitude and the mind, of course. You start notice that the world around changes. So wherever some called entitled to the karmic creation, but it's also just a simple physics. If energy goes from one place, it goes somewhere else. If you change something here, it's gonna, as a rebounding effect, change somewhere else. So that's what it says as the first sentence. Swami Shivananda says, "He who has a grasped prana has realized the very core of cosmic life and activity. He who concurs and controls this essence is able to control his own body and mind, as well as every other body, mind and power in the universe. Thus, pranayama is that means by which the yogi realizes the whole of cosmic life in this little body and tries to attain perfection." Very great saying, not much to be said. Summarizing what we talked. The medium of pranayama is the breath. So the breath, as I said before, is this very simple and straightforward connection. It's like a prana connects straight away to the prana. So with the breath, that's where your awareness, that's where the prana goes. And it's like your blood vessel, oil for your different bodies, different koshas, different chakras, and so on. The practices involved guiding the respiration beyond its normal limit, stretching it, speeding it up, and slowing down in order to experience the full range of respiration at both the growth and subtle levels. So basically that's what we do, and there's so many different pranayamas you notice. If you go to yoga classes, when you're holding, intensively breathing, kapalabhati, holding the breath in and out, very slow breathing, very shallow, all sorts. Once this has been achieved, prana can be guided further by the practice of pranavidya. And there's this little subject of pranavidya which we'll talk a little bit later. In the Yoga Chudamani Upanishad, it has been stated, one who knows the significance of the ascending and descending of jiva, inhalation and exhalation, is the knower of yoga. You might perform a lot of different asanas, but the moment you start practice actual pranayama, and as a result meditation, that's when you actually know the yoga. According to the theory of pranayama, the involuntary process of breathing, by which the jiva constantly moves up and down, can be made voluntarily by the introduction of awareness. So we bringing this awareness medium to our practice, even as I said before, 5 minutes a day, and it's changing your all respiratory system, all reflections in your body through the day, even when you sleep, even when you're not aware, your breath starts falling into this pattern. That's when yoga been for many years. I think it's been become like from 60s or 50s, become very commonly used for athletes and sportsmen, Olympic champions. It's been involved as a practice every day they do. So when they go there for competition, they will automatically control the breath and be aware where they need to be aware. Because Olympic players or whatever, not even Olympic, any athletes, they in a very often stress conditions, not just because of physical what been required for them, which is enormous, but it's also when you're competing, you can be in the practice field, you can be very good and achieving big results because you're in a home environment, there's no pressure. But the moment you go there for competition, your mind, your heart, everything falls apart because of nervousness, because you understand, oh, that's the moment. And that's when the yoga can help you. It's just one of the examples. Kind of straightforward example, yeah? It is possible to attain mastery over the breathing process and harmonize the flow of prana and apana, the two principal flows of energy in the body. We talked apana here and the prana down from the waist, through breath awareness and control. Coordination of the breath with the mantra and awareness of the pranic movement within the body. So we use also the mantra, the sound, when we sing, as well as the forms of, you can say, pranayama, because when you sing, you have to inhale and then exhale, particular lengths, particular tones as well. But there's a much more to mantra, and we'll talk about this in different videos. The understanding of pranayama is a process which begins with the breath, but culminates in liberation, as emphasized by Sri Shankaracharya also. He says in Aparakanubuti, I hope I pronounced correctly, probably not. Pranayama is the control of all life forces by realizing not but Brahma in all things as the mind. The negation of the universe is the outgoing breath. The thought, I am Brahman, itself is called the incoming breath. The permanence of the thought thereafter is the restrained breath. This is the pranayama of the wise, while the pressing of the nose is only for unknowing. When they say pressing of the nose, it's when we practice Nadi. Sri Shankaracharya is bringing to attention the fact that while the practices of pranayama do carry a physical component, the pressing of the nose, when we hold, referred to Nadi, the practitioner who limits himself to these aspects fails to realize the vast scope of pranayama. And that's exactly what I've been saying all this time. Same with the asanas. The moment you practice asana is a physical activity to just implant a muscle, ligament, or joint, you absolutely limit the possibilities of yoga. One asana can't, for example, headstand, for example, can bring you to enlightenment, kundalini rising through understanding what's behind that, or one of the shoulder stand, yeah? Or one pranayama can, that's what they say happened with Buddha, one pranayama can bring you to liberation fully. When you understand, when you're not just moving the breath or control it, respiratory system, something in the body, you are absolutely tapping to the universal breath, to the Brahma breath. And by doing this, you're changing the world and yourself. It might sound for you like something very spiritually high nonsense, which there's a lot of it around. And many of these people might be just saying something that they heard. Some people saying something from personal experience. We never know. And some people clarify, what's happening. And only in the presence of particular guru teacher, you will feel this energy and effect of them or on your practice and so on. You will know that what they're saying is not voodoo, like spiritual, trendy things that we all say, these days. And I'm trying to, through life and when I talk to people and even my students, I'm trying to not to tap into these things, like oversay something just because it sounds nice or that's what people say these days. I'm trying to always speak through my personal experience and what I experienced and tap into these subjects which I learned from a guru teacher, which I do know for 100%, 108% that they are coming from the source and they are real as my body right now sitting on this floor. Always trying to keep this awareness, not just through your practice, your everyday life, but also through what you hear and how you absorb this information. And it applies to everything. Milk is very good for you, milk is very bad for you, and so on. All these things, they remember you have to put it through the prism of what is somebody trying to tell you. Maybe somebody heard something from someone, what is actually truth and how it's applied to you. For pranayama is not merely the science of breath, but the science of universal energy, universal mind, time, space, and matter. It is a system through which the vital pranic energy, the prana which we say, that holds the universe together is dynamized and redistributed at various levels of existence. So every time you're breathing consciously in your pranayama practice, Think about it as not just, okay, I'm just gonna training my lungs to breathe in deep and all this stuff, cleaning my energy, cleaning my channels, the nadis in the body, which is true as well. But also think about it, I'm moving you're one of the particle which start moving this universal prana energy life force around for the benefit of this universe. And the moment everybody just slightly on 1 centimeter, 1 millimeter, we're getting more realized, more aware in any aspects of our life, there we're contributing to this global enlightenment realization and improving not just our world, which is nothing, the little dot of our earth in a space of just our galaxy, and imagine in all our, not just the galaxy, but in the space of our visible universe, we just like not even a piece of dust, even smaller. And you sitting there on your little room with your practice of yoga, simple as just counting your breath or doing Nadi, for example, you are helping to redistribute life force and change this universe for the better. And it starts with yourself, with your family members, with your friends, people around you, people on your streets. And we're finished with happy people around our planet. Ariom.